What's happening? Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another conversation here, SLG Meetups. Exciting, exciting, exciting. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Luciane. She's coming all the way from Rio de Janeiro to New York. She's the CEO and founder of Luxian International Realty. And, I consider herself a superstar. She works among celebrities and really influential people from not just New York, but all over the world. So very excited to have her here today. She's going to be giving insights on the luxury real estate market and a little bit about herself and her story. Luciane, what's happening?
Hi, how are you?
Good, and yourself? Todo bem?
Tudo maravilhoso.
Wonderful, wonderful. Love it to hear that. So listen, very happy to have you here today. I was making a little intro about yourself, originally from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now you're in New York. You started this beautiful company, Luxian International Realty. You're the CEO and founder. You work with celebrities, athletes, a little bit of high-end clientele, and, as yourself, superstars. So tell us a little bit about your story. How did you end up there?
Well, I was born and raised in Brazil. I came here when I was 18 years old. And I didn't know how to speak English. So like most immigrants, when you come to the United States, you come to live the American dream. And I came here and I really worked very, very hard. And what I realized was everyone who was extremely successful or wealthy, they were in real estate. So I got my real estate license when I was 20 years old. And no one wanted to hire me. And I didn't even know why.
Why not?
Well, first of all, I was 20 years old. I didn't know how to speak English. I didn't know anything about New York City or about real estate. But one thing I had that most people don't have, I think, is the drive and the hunger. So one real estate company who was a small real estate company, today they're no longer in business, they didn't want to hire me, but I kept calling them so many times until they just said, okay, let me just give this girl a chance because she just doesn't stop. And so that manager gave me a chance, and the rest is history. So I've been doing this for now 18 years, and it's been an exciting journey. It's, it's been up and down, I think, like most businesses. But I think every time I was given an opportunity in different parts of the real estate world, I always took those opportunities and just ran with it. Starting as an agent, moving to assistant manager, senior managing director, VP, EVP. Now I'm the CEO and running my own company. I think that's what life is all about, right? The excitement of growing and being a better person every day.
You're so right. You're so right about it. And that's such an exciting journey, to see you from where you were until where you have become today and what's still ahead, because I believe there is so many other projects and opportunities ahead for you. So very excited to see what's next. So tell us a little bit what you currently see with the international connections and how is that helping you with your business?
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate to be given opportunities. And look, they weren't handed to me. Every opportunity I had, I worked for it, right? Or I asked for it. So an example, when I was an assistant manager, I was working very hard for 4 years. And then I asked them to promote me. Then they promoted me. And then at that point, then I kept asking for promotions and to keep growing and build some of the most successful offices in the country. So the last position I had before I opened my own company was with a company that I was a director of international sales. And because I speak multiple languages and because I'm from Brazil and I have the international background, my job was really building alliance partnerships with companies all over the world. So when I was working there, it was only about 10 months, I believe. It was about 10 months before the company went out of business, believe it or not. I built 9 signed alliance partners, which includes one that has 102 offices all over the world. And I was traveling the world, meeting the CEOs of these amazing luxury real estate companies. And I just basically, when I opened my own company, I moved those relationships that I've built over the years. And I spent another 2 years basically traveling and building those amazing personal relationships that today I benefit from. A lot of those clients are coming from all over the world. And it was all breaking bread. And, it was not an easy one. It's expensive, but it was definitely worth it.
So important. And I'm glad that you're saying that because a lot of people think nowadays, oh, you got successful or you got to where you are today because you knew this person or you was able to work with this other. But it's about building your relationships by being in the right places. And it requires for you to get out of your comfort zone and go to certain locations and, engage in certain levels that not everybody is able to do. So it takes courage to do it. And, moving from Brazil to New York, you already know what that is.
Listen,
So
nothing was harder. Nothing was harder than coming to a country, knowing no one, not speaking the language. Like everything else is a piece of cake.
exactly.
Right?
After that, if you have the hunger and the desire to really make it, you're gonna find a way. So now, with everything that is going on in New York, and you are also working with a very niche market, you work with celebrities. How is it in New York, and how is it working with this type of clients?
Yeah, so in New York, because of the COVID, it's definitely a very different place than it was when I first opened my company, right? But that actually I benefited from because when I started my company, I was telling people I'm the first virtual real estate company, and most people didn't know what a virtual real estate company was. And, this was a year before COVID. As a matter of fact, I opened in March of 2019, and the peak of the pandemic in New York was in March of 2020. So that I actually benefited because I knew how to use technology to be able to help people buy virtually. So I've done multiple transactions with the clients that never saw the space. Now, with the ultra high net worth individual and the high net worth individual, for the most part, they all left New York. So they're either in Aspen or they're in the Hamptons. They are all pretty much living in their second home currently. It's definitely a different experience in New York right now. And I think it's temporary until things are more stable. And, the high net worth wants to be safe. And the homeless in New York has definitely increased. There's a lot more homeless people in the streets, and the crime rates have gone up. And they want that to be stable, I think, before they are all back to New York City.
Well, listen, not just Aspen or Hamptons are good locations. We are here in Miami, so
That's right. I'm sorry. I should have said that. They went by the flocks. I actually lost 3 friends that they all moved to Florida. So I know it's popping over there. So
of course, and a lot of people, as you mentioned, they're actually looking into a more safer location, and lifestyle is becoming one of the main priorities. You can have most of your business and things going on through your phone, so there is no need to be in the city. You can actually be in a different location, such as Miami, where you can enjoy the weather and have the kind of lifestyle that you cannot have in New York. So
yeah.
again,
Well, Miami is the 6th borough of New York. That's what we say.
exactly. So look, at the end of the day, it's very important to build that bridge and to have those connections. There is no other way to get ahead in life, and especially in this business. And you well said it, you're doing transactions without even showing the place in person. We have right now this type of conversations via Instagram Live, and this is amazing. So we need to leverage technology. Now, there is one question, Luciane, that I always like to ask, because you are so much into the luxury space with working with these high net worth individuals. But what is really luxury to you?
Luxury to me is really, it's not only about a price point, but really more of a lifestyle and an experience, right? So if you think about it, what makes a Ritz-Carlton different than a Marriott? Although they're the same brand, they are just same ownership, different brands, right? So the Marriott experience, you go and it's average. When you go to the Ritz-Carlton, they want to make sure that you have the best experience. Everybody's being trained to smile. They don't, the only thing they don't do is spoon feed you, right?
Yeah, close, almost.
And that's what's the difference. People are willing to pay more for a better experience. And that's what I think a luxury experience is, what a luxury brand is providing you higher quality products and a better experience. So in the industry of products like cars, you're going to drive a luxury car, it's going to be a higher quality than if you're driving an average car. When it comes to service, you're going to have a better experience. They're going to communicate better. They're going to, deliver on their promise. And I think that's what luxury is.
I love it. And that exact word, experience slash service. That's what really it's all about, because somebody, looks at a property, but it's the experience from getting that property that really puts you in that space. And that's why the connections are so important, because we had a conversation in the past between you and I where we were discussing how, it's how you arrive in style. Like, okay, let's fly them private jet and showcase them this property and then have them, enjoy their favorite restaurant, or, like the little side things that really makes the whole experience of purchasing or even to sell real estate a more pleasant one. So very happy to have you here. And Luciane, I mean, there's so many things going on, and you've been 18 years in the business. I'm sure there has been crazy stories, but what are some of the lessons that you've learned throughout all these years in the industry?
That the business is cyclical, that it goes through ups and downs. And I've been doing this long enough that I've seen 3 cycles, right? So I was in the business during 9/11. I was in the business during the crash, which was 2008, and now during the pandemic. And what I realized is that you have to really be ready, because it's just when it's going to happen. It's always going to happen, and you need to prepare yourself for those rainy days. And at the end of the day, even the rainy days, if you build amazing relationships with people and you really care about your customers and you go above and beyond and you build that trust and that relationship, then you're not going anywhere and you'll be able to survive the industry. Now, people that look for shortcuts and they just want to make a quick buck, but they don't care about that person and they don't care about the relationship, they are not going to survive. And I think that's the difference. And then the other thing is that I also, when I started in real estate, I had a bulletin board where we hung all the listings in like a piece of paper and this the thumbtack. Now it's just like technology has evolved so much, and I've been pretty much kept up with technology because that's the future. And if you can't adapt, you will die. And that's extremely important today more than ever. And look, we're still going to go through a lot of changes. There's so much happening in the real estate industry with technology, a lot of competition. But it doesn't matter. It's about relationships. So people spend all this money buying zip codes, and they'll search and they'll get, calls from like 10 realtors, and they'll come right back to the person that was recommended to them, right?
Exactly.
So that's why building those relationships is extremely important.
I love it. You said it all. And, those are great takeaways and great advices, because there is no shortcuts in life. It requires hard work, determination to take that risk, and to especially focus in one thing that you believe in, which in this case is building those relationships, and go forward with it. How can you serve those around you? How can you give, rather than just asking? And then eventually things are going to fall into place. And technology, I mean, there is so much technology advancement these days that you need to keep up to it. So you just said it right. 1 year ago, you were selling properties virtually, where a lot of people didn't even know that even existed. So yeah. I really like to see how you are using technology for your advantage, and also to stay on top of your relationships, because sometimes we don't even know where we stand with certain contexts, and it's important to keep that aligned, and technology helps us with it. So Luciane, it's always a pleasure having you here. If somebody wants to reach out to you or find more about you or your business, where can they look?
My website is theluxian.com, TheLuxian. And you can email me, Luciane@theluxian.com. So LUCIANE@TheLuxian.com.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love your post. I love your page. I'm following it. I'll continue to follow. You're doing such an amazing job. It's so inspirational. And, I think we keep inspiring each other, and I'm very grateful for that.
That's all about, find that people that enlighten you and stay together. And you are definitely that person that keeps everybody around with a smile and moving forward. So thanks again for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you in Miami end of this month or in November, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Bye, Luciane.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So that's it. Luciane, she's a superstar, amazing individual. She's killing it in the game. And as she said, it's very important to focus on building those relationships, using technology to your advantage. And as I always say, keep the beautiful success in life. See you next time. Thank you.